quickly how to make a nice looking graph of means comparing different populations, along with using standard deviation represented with error bars on the graph in Excel. You're in the wrong place if you are a Google Docs person, but I'll show you that in a different video. Okay, so I've got my two populations here. I've already calculated the mean. You can see the formula equals average, and then I've selected the cells. Same thing goes for standard deviation, equals STD. Don't want that, but you want STDEV, and you've got those selected. So it's all calculated. I'm going to recreate this sort of quick table oriented vertically rather than horizontally because it just makes it easier to graph. So now I'm just going to select these two data points. Those are the two means from over here. So those are going to be my two population means. I'm going to go charts, scatter, and I want to mark scatter plot. Okay? So we're off to a good start. Now I'm just going to clean it up and get rid of things I don't need. So delete the background lines, delete the legend, and there's no 0.5 population or 1.5 population, so I can just delete that. So I'll just delete that. Okay. I'm going to change these data points so that they're no longer diamonds because they kind of take up a lot of space. So I'll go to Format Data Series, and I'm going to change the style. So you should get a dialog box like this. I want my marker style to be an X rather than a diamond. Okay, there's that. I want to display the value of these points, so I'll right-click here, or you could also go up to Chart Layout and under Data Labels, select Right, and that'll put the Y values off to the right. I'm also going to then just type in here so you can click and type directly. This is population 1, like that, and population 2. It's also a good idea to include the units, so I would say 5.4 prey caught per 24 hours or whatever it was. And then I'll just drag that, and I'll realign that. Like that. Okay. We also still need some labels, so I need a title up here, and I need an axes title. So again, that's from chart layout. You can edit all those options kind of on the fly. So chart title, I'll put it above the chart. Here's a little trick for you. If you've already got a good table title, you can pretty much copy it. Although I'm just going to change this to say figure 1 because it's not a table. And then it's not a direct comparison of the number for each person. So now it's the mean number, comparison of mean number of prey captured. And then maybe just make this graph a bit bigger here. And I can stretch this out. Guess not. But I can change my font size, so let's do that. Right click, font, and I'll just make my font less. Give it a second. Wait for it. Okay. So then here we go. I'll change it, I don't know, 14. That's better. And then, okay. And let me just make this go over in the middle. That looks nice. We still need a y-axis title, so back up here, we go to axes, axis titles, vertical axis, we want to rotate a title, and that's going to be our units, so that's going to be the number of prey caught per 24 hours. And actually, just an average mean number. Just going to make my chart a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. Looks good. So we got that. Now we've got our nice labels and data labels and all of that. Now we need to show the variation that exists within each of these populations. So remember that standard deviation over here, abbreviated SX, is a measure of the variability in a population. So a larger number here, this 2 is bigger than 1, so that means that population 2 is more variable. So we want to show that on the graph. So I'm going to click on my data. Up here again, still in layout, error bars. Now, don't get tricked. We don't want this, we want the options. So we're going to select error bar options. It creates automatically horizontal and vertical ones, but we don't need the horizontal. We can delete them later. So just double check that you're working on Y error bars. You want to go to custom. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And then you're going to specify. So it'll ask you the positive value and negative value. This means, remember that plus or minus 1 standard deviation is what we want to put on there. So this is positive is the plus, negative is the minus. Now Excel's smart enough to know that this corresponds to that and this corresponds to that. I just have to click and hold and drag so I get both of them, and then press the button again. And then I'll do the same thing. Button, click, drag, hold, button, one more, and then I can just hit OK. Now I can click on the horizontal ones and delete them. You'll notice that it's bigger here than it is there. That's a good way just to double check that this number is accurately graphed over here. So you can see a larger variation here. The populations overlap. Both their means are very close, but this population is more variable. Got it? Good.